Well, hello, my crafty friends. How is everyone? Today I am working on a layout that is part of a YouTube challenge put on and hosted by my friend Marissa, who I will link to her YouTube channel down below. Her challenge is hashtag use our stash 2015, and it's a challenge to basically stop the buying, stop the collecting, and start using our supplies, of course. So her challenge this week is sequins. So in my my little pile of embellishments here, I've picked out some sequins that I'm going to use. Now, I specifically don't have a lot of sequins, and the reason is because I'm deathly afraid of them. So I don't really know how to use them very well. I'm a little afraid. And so I tend to not, I don't buy them. The only sequins that I have are because they've come in a kit or something, or, like a swag bag or a Studio Calico kit. It's like, I just don't go out and seek them because I'm afraid. So this was a bit of a challenge for me. And I'm kind of glad that she chose this because it got me a little out of my comfort zone and got me thinking about different ways to use them. So anyway, so another thing that I never used on a layout are frames. So I was a little nervous about how to even approach using the frame, but the tiny attacher is a good friend to have. So I glued it down just to secure where it was, and then I stapled it. And excuse me, sorry, I'm getting over a cough and it's really annoying. Anyway, so then I just added a little piece of text down below on the bottom of the frame. So this was a fun one to do. So I always get really nervous when I do these because I feel like I'm just talking to my phone and it's kind of weird. So I asked my Instagram buddies what I should talk about. Like maybe every one of my videos we can pick a different topic of things you guys want to hear about. And today I am taking my friend Gretchen's suggestion and going to tell you about how I started scrapbooking. And I started scrapbooking in 1997, which was the year that I graduated high school. And the stuff that I worked on back then, was high school pictures and pictures of my friends and stuff that we did. But those pages are so atrocious. They're so old. But I won't redo them because I think they're just nostalgic being, it is exactly what we had at the time. We had shaped stencils where we were cutting our faces out in shapes like butterflies and crazy stickers and like those title toppers that were just like a white background with just a hey happy camper title on it, which is what we had, and we made it work, and the memories were all still captured. So but anyway, I started out as an 8.5 by 11 traditional scrapbooker, and never really took a break from that. It's been a consistent craft for me. I've done pretty much an album every year consecutively, including I did a wedding album of our wedding pictures, as well as a 12 by 12 album of myself and my childhood. So I've done a lot of scrapbooking, but it's been fun, and it's been my passion for a really long time. So this card, this is where I'm gonna struggle. We're gonna be here for a while. This card is meant to really house a lot of the sequins that I'm having so much trouble with. And actually, I spared you, and I cut out about 15 minutes of me just sitting there staring and moving things around and being unsure and not really enjoying creating, because I don't really know how they're supposed to look. And I know that's silly, and it's not about how things are supposed to look. It's about how it makes you feel, and having fun during the process. And but I want to get better at using supplies that I'm not comfortable with. Sequins is one of those. So yeah, thanks, Marissa. Oh, by the way, the other challenge, the other piece to the challenge is 6x6 pads. And I have a lot of 6x6 pads, and thankfully most of them are almost used up, because for me, when I get supplies home, they basically all get cut up. I don't keep the pads in their packaging. I feel like I don't use them that way. So I usually will spend time in front of the TV with the boys or with Matt at night. And I just sit with my cutter and use them. Cut them up. That way they're easy to just grab and use, when I need them. And part of having a budget when it comes to scrapbook supplies is that I really can't just buy everything that's cute, and oh my gosh, there's so much that's just cute and that I would use, but honestly, I have so much that I think I could not buy anything new and make it through the rest of the year and make 2 full albums for the year and be good. Not that I want to do that, because I really love new supplies. And sometimes things just get old and I end up sifting through so much of my stuff that I overlook the same things every time, and after a while I end up just like sending them to a friend or giving them away, because I know it's like my closet. When you pass up a certain item of clothing in your closet so many times, you're like, look, I am never going to use this. Thankfully now we're in the gluing phase, which means I'm committing. I've stapled some and I've glued some. I think that's what you're supposed to do with sequins. The glue doesn't seem to work that great, especially because the bottom is really small. So I've just stapled some in different directions, and hopefully it works. I don't know. I think it looks okay. I'm getting used to it. So I like to use pop dots too. Do you guys like pop dots? Oh, that's what I call them. I think they're still called that. But like the little foam pieces are sticky on both sides, so you add some dimension. I used those a lot in my December daily, and then realized, oh my gosh, I haven't bought these in years and I'm about to run out, and have been scouring Amazon. I did find some. I think they're by American Craft, so I'm good with that. There was a lot of like no name brands, and I just didn't know what they were going to be like, because there's no pictures other than just what the front of it looks like. So anyway, I have got them in my cart. I've got to get them ordered. Okay, so I think we're good. Oh wait, we're not. I don't like that. Let me get some of that glue residue off. It felt so busy, and it wasn't working. So I think I'm just gonna do the flower. I think that's what I do here. I'm a mess right now with this thing. I was not thrilled, clearly. Let's just start over. I'm kidding. No, I don't think we start over. But I feel like I need to sing a little ditty or something right now. Okay, can we be done? Are we done? Are we finished? I feel like I'm talking to my kid. Are we done now? Are we done talking about this? Can we move on? Please tell me you guys struggle sometimes like this. I wonder too if it's just because I wouldn't naturally use these. So we're gonna get moving on to some other better, more comfortable, quicker title cards here. I'm not title cards, but inserts. There. All right. And after looking at it again, because I've been editing this video, I totally want the sequins in a different place. And I'm like, you know what? Don't even worry about it. That's one of the things I'm pretty strict about is you make a commitment, it goes in the binder and it's done. You don't mess with it. And you don't ask for opinions about what should I change. Like, you just need to be cool with your own style, and it is what it is. Okay, we've moved on. This is a vertical 4x6 that I printed of my little Marshall. And I really love labels. You can stamp on them, you can write on them, just let them hang off an edge somewhere. You can layer them. I'm all about the labels. And yes, that was a parody. I'm not gonna sing. So yeah, I grabbed my stamps and found the perfect one, and I'm gonna kind of play, and I'm gonna stamp it 3 times without restamping, so it's kind of got like this gradient. Yeah, I'm good with that. It's not it's not typically me. It's a little messier than I like, but I gotta work in some of that messy thing. It's all good. A journaling card. Yay! I get to write. And it's easy for me to do lists. It's hard for me to write, right? Lists are easy, lists are fun, and with boys, things change so often. And right now, I just wrote down 3 things that he says he wants to be when he grows up. And then this card is going to be some journaling about the picture that's right below. And this card is from Maggie Holmes and her style board collection. I finally got my hands on it, and oh my gosh, it is so gorgeous. It's one of those that I want to use it in every layout, but it doesn't always work. So when I can use them, super happy. But this is just about him being so much like his dad and so much like me, a list maker and very creative. And my husband is a filmmaker, so we had been working on a movie in our house, and Matt, always had equipment out and was always, working on lighting and audio. So Marshall wanted to set up his own battle and do and videotape it. So he made a checklist of everything that he needed, and then we set up the video camera for him, and he recorded this battle. So I wanted to remember that, and that's a lot of my focus going forward for this next year. When I start 2015, I'm starting now, and this is kind of what I've always done, but I'm being really selective about the pictures that I'm going to be developing. I'm trying to not go over 100. That's very typical for me, is to print about 100 pictures for a month. And I'm trying to stay under that. My goal is 50, so I'm going to work on that. But I want things to be able to, I've got 3 criteria, basically. One is it needs to show a phase or a stage in our lives, like, so that when we look back in 40 years, we can know kind of like what time it was, what era, where we were. Or it needs to convey love or a relationship, or it needs to tell a story that I don't ever want to forget. So I have to be really selective about what I'm printing, because the fact is 2014 is going to end up being 3 albums, and that's just kind of ridiculous. So all my other years have been 2 albums, and I've been okay with that. But 3 is a little much. So we're going to have to pare back a little bit. So my final card is going to be documenting this Thursday 3. And I use Memento, which is an app that records mementos, basically. So, it feeds from Facebook, it feeds from any social media, and I use that to help me remember what journaling I'm going to write. So I've used a title with some alphas. I've done some journaling, I shortened up the journaling just because I didn't have enough room and didn't want it to be cluttered. So then I'm just going to split it in the middle so that it fits in the center of the page. I like to sometimes shake it up a bit and just kind of alter the layout a little bit based on what I have and what I think looks good. Anywho, I hope you guys have enjoyed our time together and hope you enjoyed listening to me chat away. And take a look at the description so that you can join in the challenges by my friend Marissa. So I'm going to link to her, and I'll be doing other things each week if I can participate. And I hope you guys do too. Anyway, have a wonderful week. I'll talk to you guys soon.